Hey everyone, my name is WyrmsEye and welcome back to the Battle Spot Factory, our VGC Battle Spot series, now in VGC 2018. So, we are continuing on with this God of War plus Zappy Cat team, the brainchild of British player Conan Wild, as we already find our first opponent from Japan, rating of 1524, with a team of Charizard, Cresselia, Tapu Koko, Landorus Furion Form, Kartana, and the brand new Blacephalon. So for those of you who aren't aware, Blacephalon is a ghost fire type, very potent attacker with a very decent speed setting of base 107, I believe it is. So just under speeds the likes of Kartana and anything in the 108 range. I'm thinking of the Swordsman of Justice. In terms of Mega, Charizard Y most likely from what I see there, but it's very hard to tell with Charizard. Could be X just at a glance. And I didn't really think I'd see very much Kartana, but as a steel type it is still very viable, just a little bit frail, so probably has the focus sash on it, so that was something we'll have to bear in mind as we go forward. How do I want to lead? How do I want to lead? Well, Landorus plus Incineroar looks pretty tasty. Aegislash could be very useful, and I think Tapu Fini in the back. It's a bit of a difficult one to judge. Maybe Gardevoir or even Zapdos would have been a better call. I'm finding it very difficult to viably bring Gardevoir into matches because there are quite a lot of very dangerous things that lie in wait on the ladder. Kartana is potentially one of those things that's going to be very difficult, and as we actually see the Kartana lead off, yes, so it's something we are going to have to be pretty worried about. But we do get an Intimidate off into the Kartana, very useful. And this is a very iffy first turn, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and U-turn into the Katana, and I want to fake out into the Tapu Koko here. We could see a double protect from my opponent. I wouldn't be moderately surprised at that. So we do see protect on the Koko. We see the Katana opt to detect instead. And we also find out that's not a Scarf Katana, so that is something to bear in mind. But now we're going to have to do some board rearranging. And I think our best option here is to switch into Aegislash now. And I think Snarl is a good move here to at least lower the damage that the Tapu Koko can do. Katana is already intimidated, so it is at -1. We actually see the Charizard come out, which is just as good, if not better, because it's going to have significant firepower coming out from it once it Mega Evolves. So the Aegislash does come out. Katana has Tailwind now. That's why it's there. That's why it's there. It's got Tailwind. Right. Okay. Okay. Let us King Shield here. Let us Snarl again. I feel like the Katana is likely to detect or switch out. It won't really want to take a Flare Blitz, especially under the sun. So this Charizard, if it goes for Heat Wave, it gives me an incentive to try and Wide Guard the following turn. If it chooses to overheat into the Aegislash, then we got a little bit more of a mind game to play out. Let's see. All out pummeling. that's definitely into the Incineroar. So Intimidated, we should be able to survive a -1. It is going to be off of Sacred Sword, so I know it's quite bulky. Taking it pretty well. So is this Heat Wave or is this Overheat? It's Flamethrower, but it's into the Incineroar. Okay. Which survives. Nice. So that's some good information at least. So we just seen Flamethrower. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. Oh no. I want to Never-Ending Nightmare the Charizard, and I want to switch Landorus in onto the Incineroar slot. I at least then have an opportunity to fake out the next turn if my Aegislash does happen to go down. The Charizard is at -2, so hoping more than praying that we might be able to survive this. See a Leaf Blade into the Landorus, picks up a crit. Flamethrower should be into the Aegislash at -2. Do we survive? Nicely. Right, so we have removed their Mega. But they did get a crit on the Leaf Blade, which is far from ideal for us. We do remove the Charizard Blade. Always a good sign. Right, what have they got? What have they got? What have they got? Coco comes back in. I want to make a read here. It's a dangerous one at best, but the Tapu Koko is most likely either going to Thunderbolt or Dazzling Gleam here. If Dazzling Gleams, the Wide Guard should be enough. If it Thunderbolts into the Aegislash, fine. I just need Kartana to make a mistake here. And that looks like a crit as well. No, it wasn't. Oh, that crit at the beginning. Oh, that's just really hurt now. Oh! Their best play is to Dazzling Gleam and Leaf Blade into the Kartana. Leaf Blade from Kartana into Finny. I don't see a way out of this now. If they protect, I'm... I should have calm-minded. I should have calm-minded. I should have calm-minded to at least give me an opportunity to get some bulk. Okay. Hope they make a mistake. That's Queen. Should be over now. If Leaf Blade at -1 can't, should proc our berry. Double accuracy drop would be nice here. And that seals the game. Oh. Sunlight's still up as well. Yep. So the play to take it risky with the Landress wasn't a very clever one at best. The crit from the Leaf Blade hurt significantly because at -2 we should be surviving that at least as a 3-hit KO, so it would have made more sense to get that Earthquake off when we were trying to. Could we have done anything different? We sin Leaf Blade, we sin Sacred Sword on the Sword Detect. We don't know what their last was, so best guess is probably either Swords Dance or we didn't see Smart Strike. It could have been... no, we saw Tailwind, so Guard of War would have actually been a much better position for that team because of its general bulk. Knowing that the Kartana didn't carry Smart Strike in hindsight, it would have made a much better option for us near the end game to at least get something like a Trick Room off to start then firing off Hyper Voices. So we need to be more proactive with bringing the Guard of War, I think, at this point, because we're not making use of the Trick Room or the Tailwind particularly well. I don't think we've only used Tailwind like once or twice. So we do need to get on that sort of idea of being more proactive. Oh, pardon me. Sorry. As we have our next opponent of the day, running a team of Dunsparce, Tapu Lele, Persian, Gyarados, Blacephalon, and Pheromosa. Immediate thing that my team spots is the Pheromosa probably has Speed Swap, and the Dunsparce is probably carrying Serene Grace. I don't think I would be wrong in that assumption. I'd be bloody surprised if my assumption was wrong. So, how do we tackle it? Let's go Incineroar or Guard of War. Persian could be an issue, so we need Tapu Fini. I think the Gyarados is probably their mega of choice here, which is something to note. Aegislash really can't do too much to this team. Let's bring Zapdos. It then gives us an opportunity to go from a Trick Room into a Tailwind situation if necessary. This has a lot of dangerous pitfalls, because if they do lead off how I think they're going to lead off, and that's Pheromosa Dunsparce, I need to probably fake out the Dunsparce more than I need to fake out the Pheromosa. See, Lele Pheromosa, okay. Trace, Psychic Surge. Unfortunate, but not a lot we can do about that. do I feel like they go for a turn 1? I feel like they do. I feel like they try and double the Gardevoir turn 1. So here I want to actually snarl and try and reduce the special attack damage that both of them could bring out. Do see a poison jab into the Gardevoir, so we know that that is at least physical. We do see a Moonblast into the Incineroar, but thanks to the very nice Assault Vest, we are going to lower the special attack of both the Lele and the Pheromosa here. We don't have in... oh, that's not good. That's not good. Let's bring in Tapu Fini then. Let's Mega Evolve, and now we try and Trick Room here. Pheromosa is going to be a potential issue. So we see the Dunsparce. Now, are they going for the Speed Swap now? Because if they are, that at least means that the Dunsparce is the fastest thing on the field. Yes. Okay, so we've actually managed to somewhat neuter the Dunsparce to an extent. Still not out of the woods yet, though, because at the very least, the Speed Swap will have meant that they can't... they can't just simply Rock Slide spam us to death. So there is at least some small token goodness out of this. So they may actually opt to switch out the Dunsparce immediately. I don't know how slow or fast it is generally, so the Pheromosa may be the fastest thing on the field now. But we shall see. They're having to think about this now because the Dunsparce isn't in the position that it was first hoping to be. Pheromosa just opts to protect. So does the Dunsparce. Doesn't give away much in terms of speed. See a Moonblast protecting, and then we see the Hyper Voice. And that was actually the wrong way round. We need to target down the Dunsparce more than we do the Pheromosa. So Moonblast into Dunsparce, Hyper Voice will pick up the knockout onto the Pheromosa. But we're going to need to consider our board position of moving around, going into the final turns of Trick Room sooner or later. So we do see that Poison Jab does a lot of damage. We do see that our Finny is next slowest on the field, taking that Dunsparce particularly brilliantly, it must be said. So, could be an Assault Vest. It has Roost. I didn't know it got Roost. Oh, the more you know. And we see Blacephalon come and hit the field. So this is the first time that I've actually seen Blacephalon in battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Muddy Water. It's Fire Ghost. Do I think the Muddy Water will pick up the knockout? Probably not. So I can see the Dunsparce protecting here potentially. It's actually the Blacephalon that protects. Okay. So fearing the Muddy Water. Oh, they're double protecting. Okay. Okay, so we can muddy water here and... switching to Incineroar, I guess. Get the fake out for the next turn. Not really managed to capitalise too well on these turns. The Dunsparce having Roost is a potential issue. So they've actually withdrawn Blacephalon to come into Tapu Lele. So realistically what we need is a good and it avoids the attack as well, that's not good. Choosing to Roost, okay. Okay, now we're in a bit of a problem. Because he's managed to survive the worst of this onslaught. And I don't really have a very good way of dealing with it. So it's all going to come down to... the Dunsparce will have Rock Slide. That I think I am fairly confident in. So this is where Aegislash really would have made its money work. We actually get a Calm Mind off. Is the Incineroar going to get a turn? No. Okay. I feel fairly confident that the Dunsparce probably protects because they'll want the Tapu Lele to attack the Finny. That would be the most sensible option, I think, from this turn. No, just chooses to Rock Slide. So, might be able to use that in some manner next turn. Get a free Snarl off. Okay. We really should have brought Incineroar along. We really should have brought Aegislash along for this battle. Dunsparce does hit. Should proc our berry on Finny. Yep. Tapu Lele uses Psychic. Oh, special defense drop, not good. Flinches, Darkest Lariat. Oh, where did I go into? I went into the Dunsparce, didn't I? Oh! That could be a small opening here. I can Snarl this next turn. Still choosing to Rock Slide. Incineroar avoids. Lele uses Psychic. So we get a free Snarl off. Does the Psychic drain wear off? Yes, it does. Okay, so we should be able to survive a double target at the very least. No, let's not Muddy Water. Let's Moonblast, Dunsparce and Snarl. I think that's the most sensible option. Dunsparce Rock Slides. Just need to get an attack off of any sort. Any sort of attack will do. I'm hanging on for grim death here. Dunsparce chooses to roost, which is a good play. They choose to psychic. Get the snarl off. Okay. Let's bring in Gardevoir here. And I think what we shall do is we will Flare Blitz into the Dunsparce here. I'm sorry I'm not talking too much, I'm having to think as I'm going, because obviously Rock Slide from Dunsparce is doing... I didn't expect that to knock out. Okay. Wasted too much time here. Please don't flinch, please don't flinch, please don't flinch, please don't flinch. This is going to go right down to the wire. This timer is actually going to be the death of me, I think, on these videos. As you can see, I'm already at 28 seconds, and I'm having to really fight a dangerous game of chicken. Come on, Zapdos, I need you to survive. Oh no. Oh, target, that double. And it's Life Orb as well. That was a good play. That made a lot of sense. And the fact that they're both faster than me just kind of kills anything that I had up my sleeve there. So, Hyper Voice. I can hope that they miss with the Heat Wave and Psychic, but yeah, should be going into the should probably even be using Shadow Ball onto the Gardevoir. That's... Oh, I didn't take good use of the Trick Room turns that I had with the... Oh. Fudge. That's all I can say to that. Fudge. Okay, so what could I have done better there? Obviously, getting the Trick Room up was definitely helpful because we managed to get the Dunsparce into a position where it wasn't the fastest thing on the field and couldn't rock slide on us. We didn't take enough advantage of the Trick Room though, because we didn't remove the Dunsparce from play. They played well over that period of time to negate any advantage that we had with double protects. That much is very obvious, but we didn't really also get the opportunity to remove it from play when we had opportunities during the match itself. We kind of danced around it but didn't really take full advantage of it. I think also not bringing Aegislash there probably hurt us more than it helped us, because we were in a position where if we had wide guard up on the field, we could have stopped any rock slide shenanigans. We could have at the very least applied enough pressure onto their side of the field with the likes of Gardevoir's Hyper Voice, just in general being able to do some more direct damage rather than being waylaid from rock slide flinches. We could have had Finny being much more aggressive with Muddy Waters and Moonblasts than it actually had to be. We kind of pinned ourselves down into a position where if we didn't remove the Dunsparce, we kind of lost anyway. So another really disappointing loss, and it is... This team is a lot harder to use than I think a lot of people made out to be, and I'm not sure whether it's because of the changes to where the tutors are now that I'm struggling to really get to grips with what all the options people have. The likes of Tailwind on Kartana I didn't really acknowledge until it came up. I can see strategically what they're going to do, but I'm not seeing necessarily the win plans, the methodology that I need to get to actually win the game from seeing what they're planning to do. And I think that's one of the things that I really need to improve on. And yeah, I think doing these videos and hopefully with insight from other people should be able to give me a better understanding of where I'm going wrong, whether I'm not making the correct decisions and gut calls when in front of opponents. So yeah, I think we'll call it a day for now, guys, but I hope you enjoyed today's episode, if anything, to watch me suffer against Rockside. Sorry I wasn't very talkative in the second battle. I was having to think. Obviously the timer becomes a lot bigger of an issue, and 5 minutes is not a lot of time now to actually really think solidly and make the correct plays, and I think it's going to be something that I'm going to need to learn as I'm doing these videos. So commentating, I'm already taking a little bit of time trying to explain how I'm approaching various turns, maybe not to the extent that I would really like to, but the timer is also becoming a bigger issue. So I think we got one more episode this week with this team, hopefully then a episode on Friday of a new series that I've been planning in the works, so hopefully that will be out at some point on Friday. But until next time, guys, I hope you like, comment and subscribe onto the video, and until next time on the Battle Spot Factory, it is goodbye for now.